We are so excited that Raquel and Scheana from Vanderpump Rules are here to chat with us because Scheana, last time I talked to you, you gave us a little tea, which I loved.
Yeah.
But I don't think all of your castmates loved because social media kind of erupted. Katie talked to you about it on Instagram. Did she talk to you about it like over text or anything?
No,
No.
not at all.
Okay. How about you?
What was the tea?
About
With the
her
text?
giving you the green light, essentially.
She gave you away.
Well, Scheana, like, don't shoot the messenger. She just relayed that message, and the seed was planted in my head, and, you know.
But I'm the one getting blamed for all of this when I'm like, Katie, you said it. I repeated it. Cool, you changed your mind. I get it. So I backed off. But for the rest of the season, it's like it's my fault.
And how do you guys feel? Because I think it was Ariana who said, like, everybody always gets blamed besides Schwartz. Do you guys think that's true? And why does he get so many passes?
It's so true. I mean, he's just so lovable, but it's so true. And it's not that I wanted him to get, you know, the wrath of Katie yet again. But I'm like, girl, your laser is pointed at the wrong person right now. Very misdirected.
So far, it doesn't seem pointed at you. Does that change? Okay. Okay. Okay, because I was gonna say you even did something that I thought was really brave. Because when she was inviting almost everybody to the girls' trip.
Almost. Yeah,
Almost
I
everybody.
didn't make the
I
cut.
feel like I'm shocked I didn't get invited because I think she was inviting everybody but you.
Everyone except me. I'm surprised Summer didn't get invited, you know?
You're like, oh, I need a babysitter. No,
Yeah.
she's actually covered. But I respected that you kind of told her there, like, hey, I went to shoot my shot.
Yeah.
When that was coming out of your mouth, were you like, why am I doing this? Or
No, I was fully prepared to tell her just because I know eventually she's going to find out, and it's much better to just like tell her firsthand so like she can. I was actually surprised that she forgave me so quickly.
And was like, still come on the trip.
Yeah.
Did a part of you worry that she was going to then like give you the wrath of Katie on the trip?
Well, no, because
Oh, you
of
just
the
thought she was
way
being sweet.
I know, just the way that she was like, I want to overlook this, and like I still want you to come on this trip, and like.
But Sheena's the bad person.
well,
Totally.
that's what happened in that moment. Yeah, she was
Yeah.
like, who put the idea in your head? Sheena got it.
Totally, but Katie has a way of being a little passive aggressive, and you'll see how that comes out in the next episodes.
Okay. So while you were kind of like having this idea of Schwartz, was there any part of you that thought, oh, I could hook up with him and still be friends with Katie? Like maybe she would be cool with it because you kind of had the idea going, or were you kind of like, this is really, I have to pick a lane?
Yeah, I knew I would have to pick a lane, but Katie and I were never close.
You guys were never friends.
Yeah, she was never like super warm and welcoming to
No.
me. So
It's only when it's convenient for her.
yeah, and I wasn't really. I mean, I was open to building a friendship with her, but I don't know if I'm choosing sides. I choose Schwartz.
Well, because that's what Katie was saying, that she was really worried that it was going to come down to sides, and she was like, everyone's going to pick Schwartz. Why do you think she had that worry?
I mean, Schwartz is a lovable, nice, easygoing guy. You know, he's an easy person to hang out with. He's fun, he's light, he's got good energy. You can't say the same for her, so.
Well, you like his energy a lot.
I
And
love his energy.
a lot of people online are kind of, I feel like everyone's doing like, I don't know if you know the show Homeland, where they're like putting things together, like trying to be a little detective. They're curious about when the first time you guys actually hooked up was, because there wasn't. Does this happen to you a lot?
No, I just think it's so funny that people thought that we hooked up before.
And I was like covering or something.
Yeah, but it's like bizarre because the whole rumor started at Coachella when people someone swore that they
He
saw
wasn't
us
even at
make out.
Coachella, by the way. He
Yeah,
was not
so
there.
yeah, at this point we did not make out whatsoever, and that's just speculation.
Yeah.
Because also I knew, because from the most recent episode, the one that is tonight, when you were like going up to him to say, would you like to make out? You were so sweet with that. I was like, oh, they have not kissed yet.
I know, and a lot of that like whole makeout, like I did that in a joking way a little bit, although like obviously I was down to make out with him. But it was like an inside joke of ours, like when Schwartz and I were both at Sheena's baby's first birthday.
Wait, what happened then?
No, well, so this is the first time.
Raquel, this is why we're confused. This inside joke of yours.
Let me explain. This is the first time seeing Schwartz since the Coachella rumors.
Right. Okay.
So when he walked in, I was like, oh my God, Schwartz is here. It's going to be so awkward. Because, like, we made out at Coachella, you know? So we kind of, like, played into it, and it was our own little inside joke.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel he kind of got himself a little red-handed when he's like, oh, are we filming? Oh, no,
I love that they left that in, by the way. When they break the
Hilarious.
fourth wall and remind people you're watching a television show, it was so good. He looked dead into the camera.
Yeah.
Which shows what his intentions were. He just didn't want to be caught.
Was there any, because I mean, obviously there was like the little like will they, won't they type of moment, like with those makeups. Were there any like texting going on of like, oh, it was so fun to see you last night? Okay.
Yeah, we texted a little bit, yeah.
When was the last time you guys have texted?
Like the other day.
Okay.
Yeah, we're friends.
Okay. Well, you guys are friends, and I like that you said what tea, because you did post a photo of the two of you.
I mean, there's been a lot of things
And-
You're
happening.
like, which part?
I was like, what did you do when you saw the Raquel Schwartz
Double
photo?
tapped as quick as I could.
And it is kind of insane how much of the drama on Vanderpump Rules is continuing present day online. What
It's
are your thoughts on
interesting.
that?
When I posted that photo of Schwartz and I didn't think that it was going to be as polarizing as it was. Like, it kind of automatically started the conversation of, are you Team Katie or are you Team Raquel, and why? And so that wasn't my intention whatsoever. It wasn't a bash at Katie at all. Schwartz and I have become really good friends, and we have so many photos together. It was just like the perfect lighting right outside of Schwartz and Sandy's. I'm wearing the cap, and I was like, let's post a cute photo.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're like, I look good, I'm just gonna post this, and whatever happens, happens.
Exactly.
And your mission, you said, was to help Schwartz get his Schwartz back.
Yeah.
Do you feel it's back now, or?
I think he's gotten his
so.
Schwartz back.
Yeah.
It took some time. And a stylist and many nights out and conversations, some makeouts, but I think he's almost fully back.
Because TV is still on the ground though. Like, he doesn't have a TV console. He doesn't have a coffee table.
I sent him links of stuff. My mom was like shopping for him for his apartment. I'm like, Schwartz, I think a piece of art here. I think a mirror over here. We need a little coffee table, a console.
Yes.
Here's some links. And I'm like, all you have to do is click, add to cart. It's so
His artwork is still like leaning against the wall. Yeah.
Wait, when was the last time you were over there?
Like the other day.
Oh.
Oh, what was
Tea.
just doing what?
Just hanging.
Not hanging up posters or
I
art, so
know.
what were
I
you
should
hanging?
really just go over there and
Yeah.
just nail it on the wall.
Yeah.
Because like,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, no, I was over there the other day because I went to dinner with him and our friends at Schwartz and Sandy's, and it was like we had a little like pregame before, and then we all headed over there. Yeah.
I love how you guys are you guys are keeping pre-games alive. You guys are really making those happen, and so you and Schwartz are still actively doing some pre-games together.
I mean, yeah.
All right. Well, it seems upcoming these next few episodes, you do get maybe Schwartz is in the back of your mind because Garcelle's son Oliver kind of comes to the front of the mind. Well, because that happened when you weren't there.
Yeah.
Because it was on the famous girls trip we were
not
invited
there.
to. What are your thoughts on that?
It's
Before we get to your thoughts.
very unfortunate that she got put in this position because who thinks that a man coming on camera is lying about the fact that he's separated? So she got put in such a bad position, and that was not her fault at all. And I'm so over everyone blaming the woman because she didn't do anything wrong intentionally. She did not know.
And it also was hard too because I saw on the coming attraction for it, because we haven't seen all the episodes yet, Lala was even saying like, oh, I always wanted to get, like, so it kind of, did that kind of lead you into thinking that?
100%. I was like, oh, Lala mentioned meeting him at the Vanderpump Paris opening, and like she was saying that she was like kind of into him, and like that made me think that he was like single. Like there was no thought in my head that he was.
He said he was separated.
Exactly. Like he said point blank, I'm separated from my wife, and I have a child. And like the way that he spoke about his son was very endearing.
Yeah.
And he had a really good personality. So I think those were like the things that, I don't know, like I was like, huh, I'm kind of into this guy too. And then Lala gave me the green light, and yeah, you'll see
see
how
the
that
rest.
plays out.
But Lala also, I'm assuming she was under the assumption he was separated as well, right?
Yeah, but for her, as someone who's been in this position before, that was an immediate red flag for her. And she was like, all right, girl, you can have him.
Okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. And did Kate, because I'm just now like putting some things together in my mind, did Katie almost use that as ammo against you, that you like had this moment with Oliver?
Yeah, definitely. So Katie forgave me on the spot when I told her about my move on Schwartz, but she didn't actually forgive me deep down. I think she was holding some resentment, and you'll see kind of how that plays out in her passive-aggressive Katie way.
Do you feel she tries to take, because you're kind of coming into your own, you even said that you're helping Raquel come into your own, you're like getting like closer with all the other girls. Do you feel almost Katie was telling them like, well, this is who Raquel is, so?
Yeah, definitely. And I think maybe part of her really did want to forgive me in that moment. I mean, you'll have to speak to her to like hear her thought process in this all, but I think a lot of the underlying resentment, it seems to me that like Lala might have been like, no, you can't forgive Raquel for this because she crossed a boundary, and like that's not cool. So
I think Katie made it up on her own how she wanted to feel about it.
and she also like, well, she encouraged Lala and Christina Kelly to like kind of,
Bully you?
yeah.
I'm not Christina Kelly bullying you now.
Well, Christina Kelly was just following Lala's
Christina
lead.
Kelly is very much a voice of reason, and I think she's very neutral. Like, she likes you.
Oh, I
But
like her
at the time, I think just her coming back into this situation, and you know, she came back on the show to be Katie's girl. So she was just put in a bad position to begin with.
And I like you saying voices of reason, because I feel like your dinner or your drinks with Charlie was very like, she kind of was like, just know what you're getting into. You feeling good? Like, did you feel that you had
I felt
support
like
from
she
her,
was
a little judgment?
judgy.
A little judgy?
Judgment.
At work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little judgy.
Okay.
That did not. I didn't walk
didn't-
away from that conversation feeling.
Yeah,
very
that
good.
didn't sit well with me when I watched that
Yeah.
back either, because there's a way that I think I have with Raquel where I can give her advice and kind of guide her in the right direction. But Charlie wasn't doing that. It was just like kind of like, you're wrong and you shouldn't have done that.
And also, she was like, you're meddling in James and Allie's relationship, where I don't think I was. I was literally just like having a conversation with Allie and like seeing her perspective and just bringing information forward. Just in case you didn't know, this is what happened. James cheated on me, you know, and like just be aware of it. That's all.
And apparent from what you just said, cheated on you with the person who's now holding you to the fire for having, like, because you said that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The hypocrisy is on a whole other level.
And it's also interesting that Charlie was saying you were trying to meddle in James and Allie's relationship, because I feel like it's James meddling in their relationship. How was, because we saw we heard and saw some clips of the intense, like, kind of fight they had where he had to be removed. How do you feel they're doing now? Like, what is your kind of senses with them?
Sheena's hung out with Allie recently.
Yeah, they're in a good place.
Okay, that's
yeah, no, they seem like they are pretty solid. So, I mean, we'll see.
We'll see. And how did you feel, too, when he had the tea with Lisa and he was, like, crying? Because it kind of showed that this tough, like, I'm over it exterior is kind of a front.
We need to rewatch it.
We need to rewatch that scene, because the crying to me didn't seem like he was crying because he was upset about what was happening between our relationship. I feel like the crying stemmed more from Lisa confronting him about drinking again, and like
Just like some guilt there, maybe. That's what I took from the scene. But I was like, maybe, because we did an interview earlier and they asked about that. I'm like, maybe we need to rewatch that, because we've only seen it once.
I think both of the things are true, where he's
Yeah.
kind of like maybe not, kind of maybe second guessing his choices while drinking. But then a lot of it seemed like, from just me watching it, he like jumped to a new relationship to kind of be like, oh, I'm fine, I'm amazing, I'm the guy, without processing what you two had?
100%.
Totally. And the way that he is so vulgar when he speaks about me definitely makes me like have the sense that he's not over it the way that he says he
You
is.
can't be over someone in 5 weeks. That's
No.
impossible. And take it from me, someone who jumped into a relationship in 5 weeks after a divorce. Like, I did not process that. And when that relationship ended, it was 2 heartbreaks at once. I moved to another state. I moved to Vegas and did a show. I was like, it was too much. So I think you definitely need more time to process the heartbreak before you just jump in, because there are going to be things that are going to bring back up those feelings. So I think that scene with Lisa was a little bit of guilt from drinking again, having to answer to her, and also realizing there are still feelings there, because it's impossible not to.
You'd be not a human if you didn't have
Exactly.
Very true. Well said.
And how, because like you were saying, you kind of made that jump prematurely after splitting up. Did you talk to James at all to be like,
Yes, it did not go well. I just, after that, I was like, okay, we're not going to speak about this.
and does anybody, because I feel like Lisa is the one who talks to him a lot about his decision to start drinking again. Are there any sit-downs did you feel like you're like, oh, I just don't think this is the right call, or you guys know James is not someone you can really reason with if it's not something he wants to do?
There's no reasoning with him if it's not something he wants to do.
This is a person that I decided to remove from my life, so his drinking decisions is completely on him, and I have no more energy for that person anymore.
And I do, because it is, I feel like even now, because I keep on going back to Charlie saying you're meddling, I thought you were giving Allie, like you are a lot nicer to Allie than like I feel a lot of other people would be in your shoes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think you give her a lot of like advice and tips and friendliness.
I feel for her. Like, I see a lot of myself in her. So, yeah.
Did you kind of, because I know you said that you recently hung out with her, do you kind of keep in touch with her, or are you just like, I need to remove my...
No.
Was that a choice you made, or she...
A choice that I made, yeah. But I'm sure like James wouldn't be very happy if I got close with Allie. It would just be a little
that
too...
would be weird. But when we're all together and at events, you know, they're super cordial. They have conversations. Like, she's a very sweet, likable girl. I enjoy her company. I think she is a good person for James, because I think she, as I think Raquel did as well, but I think in a different sense, she keeps him accountable and she calls him out on his shit. So
That's needed.
definitely.
And I do feel like everybody watching this season is kind of like, oh, wow, this is like the year of Raquel. You are having a moment. You seem to really be coming into your own, like in a way. Do you feel that yourself? Like, do you feel like you just have like having like a grown a lot, reflection and everything?
Totally. This whole year has been so transformative for me. And I feel like I've worked through a lot of challenges, a lot of like mental blocks that have really like constrained me my entire life. And I needed to overcome these challenges to step into the person that I am today. And I'm just like really proud of how far I've come. People say, are like, I'm finding, or no, people, what did they say?
You're like finding yourself?
No, it was something, maybe you'll
Coming
have to
into your
cut
own?
this.
Oh.
But no. It was, this is like, I'll rephrase. People are saying like this is the Raquel 2.0, but I feel like this is the Raquel 1.0 because I'm truly finding out who I am as a person and stepping into my own.
I love that, because it's also, you're single, you're figuring yourself out. Is there any, I know we talked a lot about Schwartz, but is there any other guys on the horizon? Are you looking to actively date? Are you kind of just taking some dog mom time? What's the vibe?
I'm not opposed to dating, but I'm not on like dating apps or anything. I just like, I don't know. But I'm kind of like dating myself, and I enjoy being single, and I feel like being single has allowed me to really reflect on myself and spend quality time on myself. And I feel like that was much needed for me to grow into the woman that I am now.
Yeah.
I like that. And I feel neither of you could help each other out, improve the relationship with Katie. But Scheana, do you feel, is there any way you can improve Lala Raquel? Is that a relationship that needs fixing?
I've honestly tried, and at this point, they feel the way they feel about each other. I just need to keep my friendships separate.
That's hard.
And Lala and I have gotten to a place where we're not going to trash talk each other's friends to each other. We can give our opinions on how we feel, but if she says something negative about Raquel, I'm going to say, that's your perspective. I don't feel that way, and I disagree. Moving on. And that's kind of the only way her and I can move forward in our friendship, because we do have these two friends who, you know, it just...
And I
It's tough.
respect that. Scheana gets with Lala and their daughters play together. Like Ocean and Summer are best friends, and I know that that's like really important to Scheana. So
Yeah.
I respect her decision to be friends with Lala, but I feel like throughout the entirety of my time knowing her, she has been so, like, goes out of her way to be mean to me for no apparent reason. But it does make sense now that she admits to sleeping with James while we were together early on in our relationship, why she would feel a certain way about me.
Do you think she almost is kind of like, oh, you remind her of a mistake she made, or like a moral slip, or just kind of...
You would have to ask her yourself,
Okay.
but my perspective is that she enjoyed having the attention that James gave her, and with James's decision to like be with me, I feel like she like kind of competed with that, and she missed that attention, basically.
And I mean, because like you said, you got thrown into the main drama this season.
Yeah.
And you kind of were down there with her. Is there anything before we wrap that you guys want to like clear up a misconception that you might want to tell viewers? Like, okay, in the upcoming episodes, people are going to be saying this, but trust, this is what we meant, or just overarching like biggest misconceptions of you guys this season?
Where do we start?
I think the biggest one, which you haven't seen yet, but you'll see probably on the next episode when we go to Vegas, I do say something to Lala that was like, I felt like I was being attacked, and this is after the makeout with Oliver.
Okay.
You'll see it all. But I said something along the lines, well, she said, I wouldn't trust you around my man or whatever.
Yeah.
And I said, well, thank goodness you don't have a man. And I feel like that came from a place that Lala has been so outspoken about Randall, and not like, she's like happy that she's out of this relationship, and like this guy is not to be trusted and all this stuff. Like, she'll take every single opportunity on her podcast to like talk crap about this guy, right? So I'm like, well, thank God you don't have a man, which like was supposed to be more of a dig than like actually me saying like, I'm gonna go after your man. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah. For me, I think I just need to clear up, because in the last episode, you see Katie and Lala ask Raquel, like, well, has Scheana been pushing you? And she says, yeah, but it's not that I was pushing her to do something. I planted the seed in her head that Katie planted in mine. I never would have suggested, hey, you should make out with Schwartz. It got put in all of our heads because of an Instagram rumor that then Katie said she gave her blessing, and was very, very convincing. If you saw the text messages she posted, I think in all capitals, I was like, I was convinced that you were so much happier, so far removed from the relationship. Like, she, in that conversation, was telling me how much she wanted Schwartz to move on, and he needed a push to move on. So I thought I was genuinely doing her a favor. And I told Raquel, I was like, you're not going to believe what Katie said.
Yeah, Scheana just relayed information to me. Like, Katie gave
her blessing.
Her blessing, pretty much. And immediately I was like, oh no, like no. But
and I was like, well, if you change your mind,
that
you
little
know,
seed was planted, and you know.
Yeah.
You have to
And
grow your
so I was
garden
like, yeah, you should make out with him. But it wasn't like me actively all season being like, no, Raquel, do it. Do it. I don't
That
do
is good to clear up, because that's what
Yeah,
I was kind of confused about. I was wondering if that was a thing, if you were like giving her like Rocky theme music outside of his apartment, but that's good to know.
Yeah, no. So that when I saw it and she was like, yes, I was like, Raquel, oh my God, I'm not like pushing. I suggested because it was given to me by Katie.
Yes.
So there's that.
You were serving it, yes,
Yeah.
of course, yes.
Don't kill the messenger, you know?
Yeah.